Chapter 5. "Good morning, Crystal. Did you have a good night?" Jasper asked. "I had a great night, but I couldn't wait until you picked me up this morning," Crystal answered cheerfully. "What are we going to do today?" "The first thing we are going to do is go to the jewelry store and get you an engagement ring and our wedding rings. What would you like? And don't say the smallest they have. I want you to have what you really want." Crystal was not one to wear rings, but she had always loved emeralds, as green was her favorite color. So she said, "Well, since you insist, I would like a small emerald. I don't want it too big, as I don't want it to catch on everything." "Okay, my practical beauty, an emerald it is." Crystal and Jasper came from the jewelry store with the prettiest emerald ring that was ever to be found. "Oh, Jasper, it's more than I ever could have wished for," Crystal exclaimed. "I'm glad you like it. Now we've got the church and the rings. It's time to decide who is going to be in the wedding party. Alex is to be my best man, and I'm sure you'll want your sister Kelly to be the matron of honor." Jasper noticed Crystal's face cloud over at this suggestion, so he probed further. "Don't you want your sister to be your matron of honor?" "Jasper, I haven't been in touch with Kelly since I started working for Pilgrimage. You see, the closer I got to doing the Lord's will, the farther apart Kelly and I became. She has the idea that the whole of the Christian experience is you just have to accept Jesus as your Savior. She has never been interested in becoming an overcomer." "That's too bad. Do you want to invite her to the wedding anyway?" "I'd like to, but I won't hold my breath that she'll come. I even have a niece that I have never seen. I'd love to have her as the flower girl." "Well, there's no harm in trying. Does Kelly still live in the same place?" "As far as I know." "Then why not make a face-to-face visit? Maybe Kelly has changed." "I'd love to see if you are right, but if Kelly won't be my matron of honor, I'd like to have a backup plan. I would really love to have Whitney Brown in the wedding party, but I'd lost touch with her after she was laid off from work." "Well, we'll just hire a detective to find her." "And I know just the detective," Crystal said, all smiles. "Who?" Jasper asked. "Brian White." "My cousin Brian?" "Yes, after Alex came to work for Pilgrimage, Brian took over your head office at Detecting White Lies Incorporated. Brian even became an overcomer because of your witnessing to him, and Alex helped him too." "That's great news. Then let's go to his town and see Brian. He'll find Whitney for us in no time. Brian was my best detective." The drive to his town seemed to take no time at all, and it hadn't changed that much, so Jasper was able to find his way around. As he passed by the liquor store, he commanded, "Oh, I hate that place. How I'd like to put it out of business." "Then why don't you? Make a good start," Chad suggested. "But how? I've got no power to do so," Jasper said in a defeated manner. "Jasper, have you forgotten so soon? You have unlimited credit," Chad said revealingly. "Oh, Chad, of course. I can buy it and destroy it." "Oh, but that will take a lot of time, and we only have a month, and—" "Jasper, you just buy it and leave the rest to me and our friends," Chad said gleefully. Jasper turned the car around and headed back to the liquor store. He didn't want anyone to be able to buy any of that liquor. Their rendezvous with Brian would have to wait. As he pulled into the driveway, he saw a big truck pull up to the store as well, so he said, "Looks like we made it in time for their new deliveries." "No, Jasper, that's the way we get rid of the liquor," Chad informed him. "You mean the ones in the truck are angels too?" Crystal inquired. Chad nodded, so Crystal continued, "How did they get here so fast?" "We have ways of communicating that are beyond your understanding at the present time. My friends and yours, too, will load and dispose of the liquor so the clerk will only think he had a great sale day." Jasper and Crystal entered the store, and Donovan Black greeted them with, "Hello, how can I help you today?" "I would like to buy your entire stock," Jasper informed him with a pleasant smile. "Excuse me? I don't think I heard you right. Did you say my entire stock?" "That's right." "I assume that big truck you have out there is for loading it onto." "Yes, that's right." "How would you like to pay for it?" "With this credit card." "Are you for real?" "What am I going to tell my other customers?" Donovan asked. "Tell them the truth," Jasper quipped back. "Well, who am I to argue? Only no one is going to believe me when I tell them. I've never had a customer like you." Donovan happily rang in the purchase. He still thought this was a joke, and he'd expected the credit card to come back as not sufficient. So no one was more surprised than he was when it didn't. His curiosity was killing him, so before he let them go, he asked, "If you don't mind my asking, what are you planning to do with all this liquor?" "We're getting married." "Would you like to come?" Jasper said evasively. Donovan just assumed that the liquor was for the reception, and any place there was to be free liquor, he was certainly interested in attending. So he said, "I'd love to. When and where?" Jasper gave him the info and they left. When they got back to the car, Crystal reprimanded Jasper with, "Jasper, you deliberately led him to believe there will be liquor at the wedding." "Oh, you caught that, did you? Can you think of a better way to repay back double for his kind, keeping me drunk with no mercy? By the way, I get done with this when I get done with this area, their cities, he's going to have a nice dry drive back and forth." "Jasper, forgive me for reprimanding you. Chad, can we really keep doing this until the factories can't make it fast enough to supply the stores?" Crystal asked hopefully. "Crystal, I've got even better news to tell you. As we speak, there are angels making sure the factories won't be able to supply the stores again. You just put Donovan Black out of business for your faith in the Lord and his way." Crystal and Jasper shouted for joy at this news and went straight to Detecting White Lies Incorporated. Since it was Saturday, the only one they found at home was Brian. He opened the door, too. "Brian, I've come to invite you to my wedding and also use your great detecting skills." "Jasper, you're alive!" "Congratulations, Crystal." "Thanks, Brian," Crystal replied. The four of them sat down, and Jasper brought Brian up to date on what had been happening the last few days. Brian was overjoyed upon learning the liquor stores in his area had been put out of business. He knew his employees would not be in a very good humor when the bars ran out too. "Where can I reach you when I've found out how you can find Whitney Brown?" Brian asked. "We'll be in her city, visiting Crystal's sister Kelly. However, we're going to get a cell phone so you can reach us anytime," Jasper informed him. "That's great. Have fun," Brian said as he waved goodbye to them.